channel angle, guys. For those of you that have tuned in tonight, you are in for a surprise, I think. Hopefully this works. I've been trying to get, my internet keeps dropping. I'm trying to get the Taroscopes for July of 2020 out. This is for the sign of Scorpio. It apparently, Cancer, I just did. It's over on the YouTube channel in 3 different parts because the video dropped twice. Hey, Tracy Swinson. Okay, so now I know I'm online. Before, hey, Stephen Davidson Olson. Oh my God, you guys. It's been a night. For those of you that are Cancers, over on the YouTube channel, Cancer video went up, and it's in 3 different parts because my video kept dropping. Plus, I realized it wasn't broadcasting to my business page. So, we're now doing the sign of Scorpio. I decided to do something different for the July Taroscopes. This is for Sun, Moon, or Rising, or heavily placed planets in the sign of Scorpio. The first card is going to be an animal spirit card. The purpose of this card is sort of guidance, maybe a spirit guardian, an animal guardian for us to concentrate on or think about in the month of July. Certainly with all the changes and craziness that's been going on in 2020, we could use some animal guardians. It's kind of how I felt. There will also be an extra card at the end, which will be about from the Divine Doors deck, which will be about the opening and closing of doors for the month of July. What do we need to be concentrating on? What do we need to be looking at? As I said, Cancer is up on the YouTube channel in 3 different videos. I'm going to try and hustle through this so that I get Scorpio done all at once without the connection dropping. Hey, Kathy Vondelay. So this is for the sign of Scorpio, you guys. If you're tuning in right now, if you know of any Scorpios, please share this video with them or share this video out. I will be doing hopefully Pisces tonight too if my internet connection stays strong, and then following suit with the next set of who comes after. Is it Leo is after Cancer? Is it Leo? It must be Leo. So Leo and the fire signs will be the next group, which I'll hopefully start tomorrow. Okay? So this is your monthly July 2020 Taroscope for the sign of Scorpio. Let's see what spirit animal is going to be with Scorpio in the... Ooh! One of my favorites! Get it, Scorpio! We have crow medicine. I love crow. Alright, crow's deal is the law. He's the element of air. And it's interesting because my Cancers had hawk. So I don't know what's going on with the air element spirit animals helping out the water signs, but it appears to be there's a little bit of theme going on. We'll see what Pisces is next. But with crow, crow is the element of law, and crow flies between the 2 worlds. Crow has that ability to sort of know. So my Scorpios, y'all, I mean, we know the Scorpios know some stuff, but sometimes they're written off as a little bit kooky or crazy. But this crow medicine speaks to the idea of being able to kind of move between worlds, especially in the month of July, being able to access information that might be secretive, probably because the first half of July is going to be Cancerian birthday season and all of that, so that's going to heighten, all of that Cancerian energy will heighten Scorpio sensitivities. But Crow speaks to the idea of, knowing right from wrong, discerning what's correct, being able to sort of go in deep in within oneself and find the answers that you need that are correct and appropriate for any given situation, including all of the craziness that's going on in the world in right now at this time. So I love that this crow is sort of sitting on this little planet, right? He sort of is sitting tall on top of everything. And this sort of similar in the message that I saw in Hawk for Cancer, which was like flying up above sort of the chaos. Crow here sits on top of it all, knowing sort of what's divinely right, and so my Scorpios, you guys, your discernment this month is about sort of probably righting some wrongs or seeing where wrongdoing is happening and maybe bringing some sort of right action to those situations. I'm not saying get involved in stuff that doesn't pertain to you per se, but I do think that the discerning eye of Crow will help you, or that Crow medicine will help you to kind of discern where you do need to get involved, where you don't need to get involved. And when you do, it will be beneficial and it will be for like a more sort of right outcome, if that makes sense. There's a sense of duty, I feel, with this card. So you guys might feel a sort of social responsibility in the month of July to get involved with certain things, and that's completely okay. Use the sort of this energy of crow medicine to kind of bring you through that in an appropriate sort of logical, lawful way, and you'll actually lead others to seeing sort of the right, if that makes any sense, or seeing what is sort of lawful or correct. I hope that makes sense, guys. And you also, I want to say this too with crow medicine, you have that opportunity to kind of see things that maybe others can't. And so keep that in mind. You might be able to see something that, or like somebody, maybe a way somebody's behaving or something that they're doing that's inappropriate or not for in their own best interest, that you might be able to help them with or help them through or help them out of, if that makes sense. So also, crow may show you, now I'm getting this hit, that this crow medicine might show you something that you may be doing as a Scorpio that might not be in your own best interest, that might be no longer working. So there might be some departing from bad behaviors or habits that are no longer serving us. And that's going to be for your benefit, Scorpio, okay? So you can utilize this medicine not only on others around you and the world around you, but also on yourself, and have that sort of help you to grow and become sort of, I don't want to say more whole because you already are whole, but a more sort of well-rounded version of yourself, a more aware version of yourself. Empowered is a good word too. You also have the ability to empower others with this medicine. All right, so let's get into the cards and see what the tarot cards have to say. I hope to God I don't lose connection. I don't want 18 videos for the Scorpio read. Okay. Oh, hey! All right, Scorpio, kicking off with the Sun card in your center. Now, this center card to me tells me a little bit about sort of where you guys are going to be at throughout the month of July, right? And I love that we have the Sun, and July is kind of like the epitome of summer, right? So we've got the Sun, and I tie that into the July energy, right? I also want to say the Sun kind of gives life to everything that it looks upon, right? And when I look at the rightfulness of this crow card, that lawfulness, that sort of ability to kind of connect between the realm of spirit and sort of physical reality, if we're utilizing that medicine correctly, which I appear, crow definitely knows how to, if we're utilizing that medicine correctly, or kind of pulling messages from spirit, from our own guides, from our higher power, from our angels, whatever that may be, if we're pulling that energy through, we have this center of the Sun to kind of energize it and make it happen in the month of July, right? Sun gives brightness and light to everybody. Sun gives life to everybody. Sun is like an affirmative yes. So I would say also in another regard is that in the month of July, be open to saying yes to sort of maybe new things. Be open to the idea of energizing the things that turn you on or excite you. There seems to be a lot of forward momentum with this Sun. It's interesting too. This is another parallel with the Cancerian reading. Cancer kicked off with the Fool card. You guys are kicking off with the Sun card. Both of you had birds as your totem animals. I find that interesting because you have Major Arcana as your center. So it says to me, Major Arcana is a more significant card with more oomph. So it says to me that you guys are going to have a significant sort of opportunity in July to energize either yourself, your life, your options, your dreams, the dreams of others even, with this crow medicine, right? We can maybe help people fully realize what they need to do or what they want to do and shed light on it like this Sun, right? And give that light out and energize whatever it is we want and build from this sort of positive beaming place. Now, I know it feels like the world is falling apart. We need not to give in to that. This Sun is stronger than that. So don't let yourself, I know that Scorpios, you guys can be emotional, so don't let that, what's going on in the world bring you down. This Sun as your center says that you have all the power in the world to kind of be a positive force in the month of July. All right. The next card is the Foundation card. This tells me a bit about sort of where you maybe have been in the last few months and why things are the way that they are. It's the memory of this card that holds everything in place and kind of keeps everything together. So this is, and I mean keeps it, like holds it in place. Like if we want to let go of it, we need to sort of let go of this piece of the past. This is the Knave of Swords, and knaves are like pages. They bring messages. They tend to have space to learn. I feel like swords being the element of the intellect, I kind of get a feeling that maybe my Scorpios were having a little trouble in the recent past with their mental thoughts, maybe learning some new things about some new people, maybe some things that they didn't like. Maybe finding themselves in situations that they didn't find to be super easy, maybe it's slightly confusing, a little bit to sort of, how do I want to say this? A little bit maybe annoying to deal with. I feel like this page or this knave to me feels a little bit um, aggravated or impatient would be a good word. With his sword raised up like that, it feels like Scorpios needed to give the chop to certain situations. Maybe turn him, like, lay down that sword, make a clear cut decision, even a decision where they didn't feel like they had all of the facts, but in doing so, they've sort of opened the door for the sun to come into play, right? Where it's like a new dawn is on the horizon, so to speak, in the month of July. So whatever we've cut away in the recent past, even if we cut it away sort of impulsively, because that would be also the knave energy, don't worry. I think that we've opened the door for something positive to come in with this crow energy and with the sun energy, although you might find yourself revisiting it. And the reason why I say that, where is my trusty pointer? I hate using my hands. Your hands are so dirty. What do I do with my pointer? Oh well, I'll use my hands, I guess. With this knave, he's sort of his body is pointing to the past, which says to me that even though this is a card of the past, it feels like my Scorpios might be revisiting past impulsive decisions, past impulsive behaviors, though some of those things might be lingering. Oh, did I make a mistake back when I said this? Or, oh, did I do the wrong thing when I did that, when I made that choice? Let that shit go. Like, cut it free and let it loose. It's already a part of the past. This knave is already in the past. Don't go back, sort of drumming up maybe old regrets would be the sort of feeling that I'm getting. Also, Crow to me is facing the future. So even though Crow can move between two worlds, don't let this knave drive us back. You know, what's that phrase where they say, how can you write the next chapter if you're in your book, in the book of life, if you keep rereading the last one? And that's sort of what I get with this knave, is a little bit of maybe some mental resentments of decisions that other people have made or you have made that might have been impulsive and kind of, did I do the right thing there? Did I not? Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. We have the sun at our center here in the month of July. Let's utilize that energy of newness and life-giving and excitement and let that propel us forward, okay? So the next card is the Spirit or Soul card. This is what is your higher self wants for you in the month of July, or your sort of highest spiritual goals in the month of July. Beautiful card. We have the Ace of Cups. All right, this is totally Scorpio energy. The cups represent Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. It being the element of water, the ace. I mean, look at this gorgeous angel. Look at her. She's pointed to the future. She's calm. She's peaceful. She has that white bird of peace above her. Aces always are like sort of inspiration, ingenuity. To me, they're kind of divine timing, things we didn't see that were there, or maybe new avenues that have opened up. This is dealing with the realm of the emotions. I feel like this is definitely a card of healing, an opportunity for love, abundance, that sort of thing at an emotional level. This sitting in your spirit space and this angel sitting on that card speaks to this idea of communing with spirit. And again, that brings me back to this crow spirit guide for the month of July. If you meditate or if you connect in any way in that way, use a crow as a sort of a mental image to fly you to the angels, right? To your own spirit, because your own spirit is sitting up here as this angel, like waiting for your arrival all month of July, waiting to sort of connect with you, show you new paths, show you new opportunities. This higher self is also what's emboldening or empowering this sun that we see at the center, this energy center that's like burning through you and able to sort of create if we choose to. We don't want to get caught in our mental mind that wants to take us to the past to fret about stuff. The knave is young. He's not a bad card. He's young. He doesn't necessarily have all the facts, and he might be stuck on something we don't want to stay stuck on anymore. So let's cut that free and move forward. Okay? I hope that makes sense for my Scorpios. Now, the next two cards are the outside influences. These can be people, events, sometimes belief systems or energies that are kind of affecting us at this time. They're outside and around us. They're not necessarily of us. So let's see what this one is. Ooh, we've got the Eight of Wands. Eights always bring about this idea of balance. To me, this feels a little flirty. When we've got this guy whispering in this woman's ear here, there might be an opportunity with this Sun card for some frolic. I mean, maybe it's face mask frolic. You know, I'm not saying go out there and be kissing just anybody, but to me, the idea, Eight of Wands is always that fast moving forward momentum energy of those eight wands flying forward. It can indicate some sort of a romantic connection. This Sun card says to me you're definitely attracting or outputting a lot of energy that would attract the attention of others. And with this Ace of Cups up in your higher self space, I would say that the odds of meeting somebody interesting could be very high. I'm not going to say that that happens for all my Scorpios, but you know what? With that Ace of Cups sitting up there and this Eight of Wands circulating around you and this Sun in your center, ooh, girl, your beach body better be ready, girl. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I don't know that it's like necessarily a beach body scenario because we might be quarantined, but who knows? You might meet some dude in a Zoom meeting. You don't know. You don't know. But it looks to me like these three cards are kind of working in your favor of the possibility for opportunity romantically. That's something I'm going to just predict. I don't necessarily like to predict romance for people, but that really, those three cards kind of coincide with that. I do want to say this crow medicine helps us to be discerning in the month of July about, you know, who's really got clean intentions and who doesn't. Okay, so there is that, because there could be a little frivolousness. This being a Wands fire aspect could be a little bit, there's a little bit of that burning fire energy to it, so we don't want to get burnt by any situation that could move too fast or be too passionate and maybe fizzle out, like say in a month's time. So we want to be discerning with that, but the Sun also kind of matches that fire energy of that Eight of Wands, right? The Sun emanates that heat too. So it could be a really banner month for getting some new love or romance going there. I also do feel like this Ace of Cups up here is about sort of just your own emotional abundance and connection to self, that I think is really also what helps to project that beauty and light of that Sun out of your center, right? Which will obviously attract others towards you. Let's see what the other outside influence is. Okay, Queen of Swords. Hey, girl. Hey, girlfriend. Okay, so the Queen of Swords, it could be two different things. Sometimes queens represent, okay, let me slow down. Swords is the element of air, which is the intellect. Queens represent also the element of cups, which is water, right? So we're talking about an intellectually, probably emotionally stable person's swinging around us. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be an actual separate person, but it could definitely signify that. It being a sword card, it could be somebody from the element, the air elements. So we could be, my Scorpios could be meeting a Libra, could be meeting an Aquarius, or, oh my God, who's my other air sign? A Gemini. But that's not necessarily set in stone. This could be somebody that's very decisive, smart, thinking, that sort of thing. I get a feeling when I'm looking at this queen, for some of my Scorpios, this is somebody that you've been talking to for a little while. And the reason why I say that is I feel like this queen is like, okay, she withdraws her sword and she drops her shield and she's stepping forward into the sun, into the brightness of the sun. Now, when I say she, I'm only saying she because it's a queen. I'm not saying this has to be a female. For those of you that are into females, regardless of your sex, that's completely fine. It could be a female, but this could also be a male that's decisive, possibly nurturing and kind. That would be the more feminine aspect of the queen. But what I feel like is with that sword and that shield, it feels like somebody we've known or we've been in talks with, maybe now they're finally stepping forward. They're making that decision, that clear-cut decision to make their intentions known to you, and that could be very nice. Coupled with this Eight of Wands, that could be that fast-moving, sort of passionate energy. They may be ready to move forward. That's only for some of you. Now, for those of you that are in a relationship, or say you're like a Scorpio and you're going, bitch, I date a Taurus and we've been together for 4 years and I'm ready to kill him, and I do not know what the fuck you're talking about. Gemini, what? Then this is what I want to say to you. This could represent the element of air and her sort of nurturing, clear decision making, that sort of skill, that sort of energy could be around you to sort of teach you, to allow you to bring down your guard, to bring down your shield, to make clear-cut decisions, to see everything for what it is in the month of July, and to be in a place of authority, in a place of authenticity, in a place of empowered sort of decision making throughout the month of July. This energy would be a sort of or situations where it opens up for this energy to come in, or the opportunity to be like this queen comes in with this sun energy. Does that make sense? I hope that is clear to you guys. So for those of you that aren't like romantically looking for somebody to court you or anything like that, this could just be opportunities where you're going to find yourself in positions of power where you have to make clear-cut decisions. You might have to be a little bit vulnerable. And it's also, I do want to say this, we have this knave here in the past where maybe sometimes we've made impulsive decisions or decisions where we didn't feel like we had all the answers. This won't feel the same. This will feel more empowered. And don't let the fear of the past dictate what you do and how you choose in the now. Does that make sense, Scorpio? So, and the reason why I say that is because this sun is so powerful that is going to help you to sort of, and this crow medicine is so powerful that it's going to help you to see through kind of all the bullshit that maybe in the past you haven't always been able to see through. Okay, so you're gonna have to, that's why that knave is showing up, but then we have this opportunity of this queen swinging in here going like, wait, let me show Scorpio what we can actually do with some clear, concise, decision making. And so I think that this is going to be a powerful and dynamic month, regardless of whether or not you find love or not. There's this opportunity for clear-cut thinking. There's this opportunity for fast-forward movement in this Eight of Wands. There's this opportunity for definite connection to spirit, connection to one's emotions, and the beauty of that, and the sort of what's the word I want to say, like not even the acknowledgement of that, but just the true ownership of that, and dwelling in that and really loving that. Now this last card is sort of the potential outcome for the month of July for my Scorpios. It does not necessarily mean that this is the bound or set in stone to happen. What I mean by potential is that we use this card as a warning, right? So this card can be if it's negative, we can use it as a warning and make choices and changes through free will to affect the outcome. But this is kind of where things are naturally heading, barring that nothing major changes. So this gives me a little idea of where my Scorpios will end up at by month's end in July. So let's see what that is. Okay, Hierophant. Whoa, bitch. Hierophant, now, he's one of the four pillars of the major arcana. This is a big ending to a big July with this sun energy running through it, right? The Hierophant also can signify marriage. Bing, 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 bing. I'm not saying that you all are going to get married, and be careful. Use that discerning crow energy to make sure that you are making the right decision if you do find yourself at an altar at the end of July. Send me a wedding invitation. But if for any reason you don't, that's okay too. The Hierophant also is about sort of institutions, education, learning a lot, feeling very stable, right? It being one of the four pillars of the major arcana. To me, there's a stability to the Hierophant. There's a knowledge to the Hierophant. There's a grace to the Hierophant that I feel like we end out the month on, which is a direct result of all of this clear-cut sort of thinking, this fast forward movement, utilizing these two energies in our favor to get us to this place of feeling stable, feeling, like we played it by the book. And also I want to say this too, the Hierophant is very much crow energy, right? Crow being about the law, the Hierophant also being about sort of institutions, education, law, marriage, that sort of a thing. It is that vibe. So this is about doing the right thing all throughout the month of July. And you guys will do that quite easily with that sun in the center and that Ace of Cups as your highest good and your highest goal. It really feels like, to me, for my Scorpios, the possibilities are limitless. So let me see. This last deck is the Divine Doors deck. And this is kind of like, what doors are opening, or what doors do we need to close in the month of July? Let me just shuffle really quick. I hope you guys are getting this. Sorry guys, I haven't been commenting. I've been just reading the cards. It's good to see you guys. Hey, Brittany. Brittany, are you Are you a Scorpio? You're bound to have a really nice month, it looks like. I hope that's indeed the case. You'll have to let me know. I'll be doing Pisces next. I'm going to sign off. I'm doing them sign by sign this month because my internet keeps dropping. So it's more work for me, but it's better this way. All right, so this is your door from Divine Doors. Now, the first thing that pops into my mind is, does this not look like a church? Hello, Hierophant energy. Hello, marriage. We talked about that, right? But I also want to talk about sort of, that idea of law, or the idea of this being an old, sort of beautiful, well taken care of door. It looks like it would be a door in a place of a church, or a place where the laws are created with this crow energy, right? This crow medicine. So just take in that door and let's see what this stands for. A stranger's grace. Ego fears the sudden danger, but never underestimate the kindness of a loving stranger. Bitches! Oh, get those beach bodies ready, Scorpios! A stranger be coming! Do you feel it? And I don't. A stranger be coming. Oh, how dirty. Some of you, that stranger's grace says to me that there might be a door opening up in the month of July that could be somebody coming in to show you some of their grace, girl. That kind of speaks to this idea of the possibility of doors opening up to new relationships. This could mean also just friendships. I will give you that. I want to broaden it out so that those of you that are in relationships don't necessarily have to feel like you have to dump your significant other and go find somebody new, a stranger. Stranger's grace could be the idea of opening the doors to new friends, new, families of one's own choosing, in the sense that, sometimes we find people that we're sort of bonded to at a soul level that we just love dearly. That could be coming in for my Scorpios that are maybe happily married or settled in the relationships that they're in, and they're not necessarily looking for somebody. But this definitely speaks to this idea that somebody could be coming along that could, be the kindness of a loving stranger. All right, get it, Scorpio. That is your July 2020. Follow that crow through the month, guys. Say yes to everything and anything that feels right and lawful and correct. Trust that intuition. Trust that, fly in between those worlds and bring about that wisdom of the Hierophant by month's end. All right, you guys, I'm going to be signing off. Oh, hey, Lisa. I'm going to be signing off and coming back on to do Pisces in just a moment. And I will see you guys back here in a minute. All right, thank you for tuning in. And again, Cancer has already been filmed. It is up on the YouTube page. It's over 3 different videos because the internet kept dropping. So sorry about that, but that is up on YouTube. It did not broadcast to the business page. I will be back on in a moment to do Pisces, so stick around. You'll probably get a notification when I go live again. All right, thank you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.